All right, so I'll just get started here. Just introduce yourself and tell us about your dog life journey.
Yeah, man. No, my name is Jacob Miranda. I'm, born and raised here in Miami, Florida, of Cuban parents. So the dog journey, really begun with stories from my father, uh,
Mm-hmm.
accounting stories of my grandfather in Cuba
Mm-hmm.
having bull terriers,
Okay.
having English bull terriers.
Okay.
Uh, they recollect him having between two to three different white English, which is kind of like the signature look of the Bull Terrier. Right? It's
Mm-hmm.
that white Bull Terrier look. And these were Bull Terriers that would arrive to Cuba on cargo ships from England, and so they
Mm-hmm.
were imported straight into the island.
Wow.
I'm talking mid 40s, mid 50s,
Mm-hmm.
when they still had that functional look to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, my grandfather, according to my father and my uncles, he was involved in a little bit of blood sport here and there with the dogs.
Right.
It wasn't a career thing. He did it for entertainment. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but in particular, they had this one bull terrier named Chino. And of course, Chino, because the bull terrier is kind of the only dog with rectangle eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which is one of those distinct features of the bull terrier. And one thing that just as a child it just kind of caught my attention on the breed is the fact that it was a breed that had that bull and terrier tenacity. But then at the same time, my dad would talk about riding horsey on this same bull terrier, and
Mm-hmm.
how tolerant the bull terrier was to the kids playing around and just kind of just being kids.
Mm-hmm.
When it came down to the dog having to work or respond in character, then it would do that. So as a kid, that's all I knew, right? I'm looking at this dog that's balanced, as far as in its ability to work and its ability to be in a home life.
Mm-hmm.
It just called my attention, you know what I mean? And so my journey, I would say, begun there. I was about 7 or 8 years old when I was hearing those stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess just the fact that my grandfather had bull terriers, my uncles started importing bull terriers from England in the
Mm-hmm.
90s. Um, my brother had bull terriers as well. So for some reason, crazy reason, bull terriers has just kind of been in my family. Um,
Mm-hmm.
not per se for working purposes. I just think it was just a breed that just called their attention. They heard a lot of these same stories that I heard, and it just somehow made its way in. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course I started doing my research uh, probably around 98, 99 when I was still in middle school. Um,
Mm-hmm.
these stories had such a profound impact on me that I just wanted to know more about the breed. So I'd go to
Mm-hmm.
my public Dade County library. I remember going up to the service desk there and telling the lady to order me every book that they had on bull terriers,
Wow.
and I would just get them. And I hated reading in school, but man, I could read those books.
Right.
And of course, confession, I would tear pages off those books that I liked, and I would keep them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much where it started as far as me, you know, having the desire to one day have a bull terrier. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Mm-hmm. And when did you get your first bull terrier?
so I got my first bull terrier about just a little over 2 years ago, actually. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
over 2 years ago. Just started searching online because this is the thing. I knew the look that I wanted in a bull terrier, but everything that I was seeing on the ads, whether it be Craigslist, even dogs that were like AKC registered, they looked like crap to me. You know what I mean? They were overdone, barrel chested, you know, parrot head, egg head, whatever you want to call it. They looked unfunctional to me. So I figured if I'm gonna get a dog that if I'm gonna get a bull terrier, then at least it has to look functional. You know what I mean? It has to have, some type of physical genetic traits that are appealing to me and to what
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at in these black and white pictures, all my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found a dog on an ad in Arizona. You know, supposedly they worked their stock 10, 15 years ago doing some bite work and protection work. Um, and it was pretty much, I mean, to me, that was good enough because I couldn't find anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Junk, I remember, when the internet came out, I had first started, doing my research and getting those books when I was around, 13 or 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 899. Shortly after, I started getting access to the internet. Internet didn't come out to 96, I think it was, 95,
Yeah.
96.
Mm-hmm.
So once I started getting into using the internet, I had come across um, this page in particular, which I'm going to leave their name, out of the mix just because, we had some issues with paperwork and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, that was my first Bull Terrier. I had it shipped over here to Miami from Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and just a showbred Bull Terrier.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there was nothing special about him, in the sense that it just had just a normal show pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, I took this dog and I just started working with him. I would take him out to the field and got him doing a little hunting here and there. He's by far a catch dog, a hunting a hog monster. But he did a few things that impressed me, and I just kind of used him. Use his potential to the best of his advantage. You know what I mean? And he's turned out to be a pretty good dog. One of the reasons I got him was, because again, he didn't have those overdone bull features.
Mm-hmm.
Very terrier-like. And so he called my attention. His nose, or his head, whatever you want to call it, it was flatter. It had a flatter look. It had a little bit of a stop, which most of the Bull Terriers today don't have a stop anymore. It's just a continuation of this horrible looking head, which to my taste I don't like. So people I was like, well, look, everybody has a different taste bud, right? If you like those showbred overdone features, and more power to you. But that's not what I believe to be the Bull and Terrier that originated, back when James Hinks started making these crosses.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like, oh, well, that's not a Bull Terrier. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it fits the standard today. I'm not looking if it fits today's standard. To me, the standard Bull Terrier is what once was, And when you look at all of these working breeds, the dogs 100 years ago looked 100 times better than they do today. The Great Dane, for example.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So what I do is hunting here in South Florida. Whenever I get the opportunity, we go out and we hunt. So basically, I want to breed a hunting Bull Terrier, right? A dog that has the bull in it, right? The strength of the bull and the tenacity of the terrier.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Bull and Terrier,
Mm-hmm.
And so basically a dog that has the disposition and the functionality to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to have a Bull Terrier that has the right mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know a pretty dog doesn't necessarily mean it can work. And so, one of the issues that I've seen with a lot of the modern Bull Terrier is their nerves are out of whack. They just don't have their nerves, for whatever reason. And so, we're trying to move away from that, and just really trying to get a dog that's like the one my grandfather had, right? That was very, very, very much balanced. When it had to work, it worked. And when it had to be at home, it was at home, right? Like that Bull Terrier that James Hinks wanted to create, that gentleman, type of Bull Terrier. So yeah, that's what I'm after. And not just me, right? But breeders like Florent Vanell, which I'm sure we'll bring up here, who's been, a pretty cool guide and, has become a pretty close friend as well through social media. So yeah.
Could you talk about how well they've performed out there in the field?
Mm-hmm. So again, my male, he's definitely not my female, right? Who I imported from France, and we could talk about why. I'm an open book, man. But my females, like I tell people, she's my bread and butter. I mean, she's my bread and butter. Um, my male has done great, like on small game hunting.
Mm-hmm.
He loves him small game. I mean, I don't know personally, because I do I'm on a lot of these groups and pages. I don't know many bull terriers who you could set on the ground and could go find their own small game. He does, which is why I bred him to my female.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the nose. A lot of people don't realize bull terriers have a great nose, even in the modern ones. So, he was good at searching and finding. Again, he wasn't the hog dog that I expected him to be. He doesn't. Him personally, there are other modern bull terriers that will catch a hog by themselves, and that works. That's great. I mean, you could probably count them with one hand, but he did work on hogs with other dogs and with my female. Now, when it comes to my female, Beta off of Vanell's kennel, I mean, she'll, she's incredible. I mean, the first week that I imported her from France, she was like 10 and a half, 11 months old. We took her out hunting out here to a private property called Chappie's Outfitters, which, it's a great place here in Moorhaven, Florida, to go hunt, to do it legally, right? Without poaching, which is something that I stay away from. Lose my dogs, right, and lose my rights. I took her out there to Chappie's Outfitters, which you can find them on Facebook. And that day she caught 3 hogs on her own.
Wow.
Everybody was blown away. You know what I mean? She's a 40-pound bitch. And she was on it, which are, some of these videos and pictures, the video off of Vanell's, you could see that at the end, where she's, doing a little bit of hunting, but yeah, man, she's incredible. Right now there's a litter on the floor right now off of my male and female. So this is a test litter. I'm a new guy on the block, man. I'm experimenting right now. I basically crossed a very modern bull terrier that has disposition to hunt with a really good bull terrier. And so I think they complemented each other well in structure, especially in structure, because he's got a little more size, which I was looking to add. And yeah, we'll see what comes out of this. I've placed a few puppies in working homes, and we're just kind of testing it out. Let's see what this breeding brings, What excites me is, let's go out and see what these dogs, what they bring. And if it doesn't work out, hey, screw it. We don't do that breeding again. We try something else. But this is what I had to work with. And so this is what I used, So we decided months ago that we would collaborate, which is kind of what we're doing right now. I bred his female to my male. Plan is we want to swap a puppy here soon, probably March or April. His puppies were born. Mine are like a month older than his. It's a little complicated when you do international shipping. You got to wait on the time. It's stupid expensive. So I think one of his friends is going to travel from Paris to Miami so we could make that swap and save us some money. So yeah, he's a super down to earth guy. He's not about self glory, and this is something that unfortunately in the dog world, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the mafia, man. Everybody wants to have, right, the best working dog, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody wants to share their blood, so you won't do the same thing they're doing. But he was just kind of from day one, like, his whole thing was, if I'm going to sell you a dog, I want you to work that dog. The female he gave me was his keep. That was his keep female. That's the reason he still had her. And I was like, I told him, yeah, man, this is my intention. I don't want a pet. If I wanted a pet, I'd just get an AKC Bull Terrier, start peddling the heck out of them and make money, But that wasn't my intention. So when he saw that I worked the dog out of Chappie's out there in Moorhaven, he was super happy. He was super pumped. And, yeah, we worked out a deal, man, where it's like you know what? I give him dogs and he gives me dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just work together from now on. And, hopefully the relationship stays tight, which I don't see any reason, why it won't. I'm all the way here in the U.S. He's in Europe. We don't really, cross on each other's grass. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it works out perfectly, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the reason it's been a fascinating process for me is because, I'm an English Bulldog guy, and I could see within my English Bulldog kind of that old school mentality
Yeah.
of what Bulldogs were bred for.
Mhm.
But I keep him right around 47 to 50 pounds too. I keep him
Mhm.
healthy and I keep him active, but he still has those health issues, you know what I mean? Because of all that inbreeding and just all
Mhm.
the negative things that they've done to the Bulldog. So he'll
Exactly.
be my last English. I'll get a variation of some sort of bull breed, but that's been kind of my awakening to kind of the working style dog. So,
I agree.
uh, um, can you kind of talk about what you're looking for specifically in your program and the differences between, say, the AKC standard and the standard that you were, you're trying to build? Just kind
Absolutely.
of give that picture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we could talk about type, right? And we could talk
Yeah.
about temperament. Definitely. I feel like the modern Bull Terrier has deviated so much again from what it once was in type,
Mm-hmm.
which form follows the function, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dog, if he can't look the part, he probably doesn't play the part. Now that isn't absolute, right, for every dog because I've seen some horrible looking dogs that still have the mind to work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's safe to say in the majority of cases, if a dog is overweight, if a dog is just overdone, he's even if he has the mind, his body can't follow behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a lot of the modern BTs, man, they gas out real fast. They gas
Mm-hmm.
real fast. So I'm basically trying to create a breed of bull terriers that has the old bulldog look, the stop on the head, the longer legs, better lungs, and a dog that just looks athletic. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm-hmm.
look at it, you're like, dang, okay, that dog could probably work. That dog could probably run, jump, bite. So just you know, definitely trying to create a bull terrier that has, for me, we could talk about the 1904 look, the 1915 look. I've got so many freaking pictures
Mm-hmm.
collected over the years. And it's almost like I know exactly what I want. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
anything from like 1902 to like 1925, man,
Mm-hmm.
I'll take anything from that era. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as far as again type looks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and then of course, as far as temperament goes, just trying to breed for a dog that again represents what a bull and terrier is.
Mm-hmm.
The drive, the tenacity, the mind to work, the mind to please. Just to have a dog that's well rounded for work.
Mm-hmm. How do you think, if you went to, say, the protection route, how do you think they would, like, especially the female that you imported, how do you think she would do in that world?
Yes, I mean, since that hasn't been really an avenue that I've really
Mm-hmm.
explored much, I think she would have potential to excel in that area as well of bite
Mm-hmm.
protection. Um, there are a lot of bull terriers, especially in Germany. There's a club called the Bull Terrier Club, I think 97, uh,
Mm-hmm.
where they've been working BTs in protection from like the 80s. 80s or 90s. There's a line called Friar Tuck. It's a Friar Tuck line. There's still some of that strain around, according to some dogmen out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've seen, and I speak to people on social media who work BTs in protection, and They do well. You know, I think with the BT, especially the modern BT, you just got to start them real young, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start them real young, because what I've seen is that a lot of Bull Terriers, they don't turn on until they're, you know, maybe a year old, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still kind of the, you know, the puppy phase, but you want a dog to turn on a little earlier than that. You know, you don't want to be feeding something for for a year and a half, and then find out that, you know, it's not going to work for you. So, which is why a lot of people don't want to invest in Bull Terriers, because again, they've lost so much of that drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of a gamble, you know. So,
Can you kind of talk about, I know you brought up a few things, but can you kind of talk about the difference in behavior, and not just in the work performance, but in behavior and look, and how they act in the home life between the dog that you got domestically and the one that you imported?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, definitely my female she's a lot more protective of the home. Um, you know, she will bark at strangers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she will bark at strangers. My male will too, but just not as much. He doesn't want it as much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she definitely has. There's more energy there. There's more drive. There's more, you know, wanting to greet you. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when she sees you. Again, you know, just performance wise, stamina. You know, just being able to do more um,
Mm-hmm.
than my male.
Mm-hmm.
My male he's a fit dog. You know, I don't keep my dogs fat.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just that's his capacity. His
Mm-hmm.
capacity is what the show world has planted into him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which has been to walk a show ring, right? Which is like what, 50 yards and back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's pretty much all they've been doing for the last 100 years, or maybe a little less than that. But um, so yeah, I mean, my female is just, again, she's got the fire, man. She's got that fire.
Mm-hmm.
And once I take her out there hunting, you can see that right away.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a disposition and a drive to wanna act like a terrier, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you can can you talk about, for far as you know, what why the standard changed, and why the egg-shaped head became the official standard, and what was the purpose behind that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, as we were, you know, kind of talking about the American Bully, just, man, people, you know, they want to supply the demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, you know, in the working dog world, if you're gonna be a pioneer, if you're gonna really resurrect these dying breeds, you're gonna have to be different, man.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't want to be popular, um,
Mm-hmm.
because what's popular is not this. Of course, among a very small community, it is this working type of bull terrier, but the masses, that's not what they want. And I
Mm-hmm.
talk about James Hanks, right? Because James Hanks could probably be at blame for some of this as well, right? Because he wanted to create that gentleman bull terrier,
Mm-hmm.
so do well in the show, because he saw an investment in it.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it is. He's a businessman at the end of the day. So we could say that it kind of started going a little downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, where the egghead came from, this is a big debate. Nobody really seems to know. um, there's a bunch of different theories that I've heard. Uh, you know, I forgot the dog's name. It starts with a B. It's like a breed. It kind of looks like a wired greyhound, like a
Yeah.
wired.
Yeah.
You've probably seen that picture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it kind of has a curvature on the nose, but then we could
Mm-hmm.
find other dogs that have a slight curvature as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good argument. Um, but I think it just comes down to selection, right?
Mm-hmm.
These breeders just kind of started selecting, you know, for this type of a head, and you just keep breeding that over and over again. You're probably going to get that in different forms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there are some that are a lot more exaggerated than others, right? I could find you the exaggerated examples, and it's just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
was talking with a social media friend who's got, some working BTs as well out there in California. He's got some of the modern dogs, but he's been working them. He's been working his litters, and he's been shown to have some consistency in them. And he was, we were bringing up, I had somebody comment on my Instagram page as to, oh, why are you always, talking about, these egghead bull terriers? Like, what's the problem with that? I was like, hey, listen, if that's what you like, again, more power to you. But he's like, well, but does it present any health issues in the dog? And honestly, I didn't, at that point in time, in my mind, it really didn't present any health issues. I just think it was just a look, a type. Well, this one guy who's got BTs out there, he responded, and he gave an example of, he saw a bull terrier that was being bred to another bull terrier, and just in the time of getting this, doing the stud breeding, the dog was so gassed out and it was having such a hard time breathing that it almost passed out. And and that makes sense, because you're looking at this huge curvature on the nose, on the head. It maybe messes something up in that nasal. so yeah. How it came about, I'm just safe to say selection, right? Selection.
Have you looked into the Bull Terriers at all, the Pakistani Bull Terriers?
Yes, and I don't like them.
Okay.
It's funny you bring that up, because on my Instagram page, I'll get a lot of people from India, sending me pictures of Bull Terriers, so I could post them on my IG. Now, there are some exceptions. There are some Bull Terriers out there that represent more of what I believe to be the English Bull Terrier standard. So I will post those pictures. Now, I respect those guys, you know what I mean? Because a lot of, these dogs they're functional. They can hit hard. I've seen them on hogs. I've seen them on pigs. So don't get me wrong. This is all a matter of taste here. I have seen, like I said, the big confusion is, it's like a lot of the guys out there, they want to call a Bull Terrier a Bull Terrier, and vice versa. So it's almost like, okay, this is a Bull Terrier, but this is not what I believe the original standard of the Bull Terrier looked like. Mm-hmm. I think, and I've spoken to some guys out there, and a lot of them are crosses of Bull Terriers with Bull Terriers, and there's just kind of like these crosses going on, that it's just hard to distinguish, like, what's what, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've known about Bull Terriers for a while now, and in Pakistan and a lot of these places in India, it's a larger dog, it's a big dog. Some of them even have like a Great Danish look to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But and some say that the Bull Terrier is the original Bull Terrier as well. There's traces, right, of that James Hinks type as well. India, some of them believe that they originated the Bull Terrier. So there's a lot of, just kind of debate on that. But me personally, preference-wise, I don't like the type of the common, Bull Terrier. Not to say that they don't work. I'm sure as heck, those dogs work. I've seen evidence of that. So.
Are they just too big for you? Is that one of your complaints, or?
Yeah. They're, personally, they're big. So that's not something that I'm really into. Big, much bigger dogs. I do like the Bull Terrier, like that medium size, that game weight. Why? Because it's a versatile dog. I could put my dog on a coon when small season comes in, and I can put him on a hog as well. I just think that's what I like about the Bull Terrier, the versatility of the Bull Terrier. Mm-hmm. Of course, some are bigger than others, like anything else, but the standard Bull Terrier, I think, has that perfect size for. And something else I don't like, again, about the Bull Terrier, and I've got pictures that I could send you later of some of the of what they call with. I'm like, damn, like that's a nice Bull Terrier because it's got the Bull Terrier features.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these Bull Terriers that I'm seeing today, again, they look like Mastiffs. They have more of a Mastiff look. Nothing against Mastiffs, again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just a Bull Terrier guy, man. I'm a Bull Terrier fanatic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only breed that I'm interested in,
Mm-hmm.
as far as, you know, bettering and perfecting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But the Bull Terrier is nonetheless a very interesting breed, and I've got respect for it and for the breeders out there, you know.
You're right. There is so many different crosses going on there, and
Yeah.
and they're not going to tell you because you know they're all dog people, and it's built for function. And one of the main functions is something that we, you know, I don't like to talk about just because of the
No, absolutely.
legality. And so there's a lot of, you know, that's what a lot of their dogs are geared towards. But
Yeah.
I still become a very, very big fan of the Bull Terrier because overseeing some of the videos that he sent me and but again, I'm a bully fan, so I'm looking. Hey, if I had a Bull Terrier, I would cross it with more of a bully type featured Bull Terrier. And
Yeah, absolutely, man.
that's my line.
I think they're all interrelated in some way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
which is why, you know, I still have respect for them. And like I said, there are some types that I really do like.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, I'll share some of these pictures with you later. But
Yeah.
so yeah, his name is Florent Vanell. Florent Vanell.
Mm-hmm.
So no, man. You know, again, I'm privileged to have this relationship with him, to be able to share and intermingle blood with him, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of anyone else in the U.S. Doing that
Mm-hmm.
with working BTs. I hope, you know, more people, you know, tag along because, again, I'm not doing this for me, you know. I want to do it for the breed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is also a hobby for me. It's not my life. You know what I mean? So it's something that I have a passion for, right? And I'm doing. So with him, I just want to keep collaborating with him, you know, for the next, as ever as God, you know, allows us to. You know, again, we have that good friendship. It's more than business for us. You know what I mean? Like we chat on a regular, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm sure he uses a little bit of Google Translator and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we make it work, man. We make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting, again, hopefully a male puppy from this litter that just dropped, which is like, I'm super pumped about it. Because this male that he bred the female to, his name is Neji. He's a 7-year-old dog
Mm-hmm.
that I had for a good while. And this is the first litter off of this male. He's been in high demand. Many people have wanted a puppy off of him. He leans more towards a modern Bull Terrier, but still has some of those old school features.
Mm-hmm.
Later, if you look at my Instagram, you can see maybe 4 or 5 posts back where I shared a picture of him. Beautiful, modern bull. Like, you know, you look at the head on this dog, and you won't find. You probably have to look to like 1,000 modern BTs to find that specific structure that this dog has. So anyway, so he bred him to Laika, who is my bitch's dam. So of course the plan is to do a little bit of line breeding there, right?
Mm-hmm.
To keep some of those traits tight. And hopefully, you know, I'll be able to get him a female. That's the plan. I've got 2 females that I'm kind of looking at right now, seeing which one is, you know, kind of outshines the other, because I want to give him kind of the best of what I have in this litter, because that's going to represent my kennel over there in France, right? So yeah, man. You know, I'm going to be a small kennel. I plan to stay that way. I don't have the means to have, you know, I don't live, you know what I'm saying, like in a farmhouse. Maybe one day I will, but I am in Miami, bro. Like this is the city, you know.
The urban jungle.
Exactly. So, you know, what I keep telling people is, you know, I'm gonna be a small kennel. I just want to be like that mom and shop, that mom spot, that people go and get that quality burger. You know what I mean? That's what I prefer to do. Just kind of quality over quantity, and just pump out, and put some nice working BTs out there, man, that people could be happy about. So yeah, that work has started already, and we'll see what the future brings. Right now, I'm really writing off the work that Florent Vanell has established, and some of those that came before him out there in the UK and London. So yeah, I'm thankful for him, really, that he's been open and he's sharing, this blood with me, so I could kind of make it happen here. What they've been doing now in Europe for the past, I don't know, maybe 20 years, in bringing out this type. It's kind of cool to be able to kind of get that started here in the U.S.
Can you kind of talk about like some of the training that you do with your two dogs that prepare them to go out in the field and perform?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, there's a lot of testings that go on. Again, we're geared toward hunting BT, so we want to see if the dog likes a hog or not. You don't like a pig, you can't stay. Again, I'm not particularly breeding a sporting dog. I could get my dog to jump, an A-frame, or maybe bite onto a sleeve or whatever. But that's not my motive. With these dogs, I definitely want to see if the prey drive is there. If they're gonna want to hunt. So some of the trainings that we do, of course, we let a dog see a hog. Does he like it? Some dogs develop later than others. Some dogs will catch a pig at 3 months. Some dogs will catch a pig at 8 months. So it's just you got to kind of play with it. I definitely want to see a dog interested in a hog at 6 months. If they're not interested in a hog at 6 months, they're probably not going to be interested in one. So some of the testings that we do, we let them see the animal, let them see how see how they react, see what their drive is like. And then when we're in an actual hunting scenario, we put one on a hog that's already been, or caught. So we're, working with other dogs as well to kind of lead the way. That's huge. Hunting, especially when you have, these prodigy dogs, right? These dogs that they've got potential to hunt. They learn a lot from seeing other dogs. And so definitely, putting them on hogs with other dogs is a way to get them going. And then when small game comes around, small game hunting season, we kind of do the same thing. So.
Right. Where did you develop your passion for hunting?
Yeah, really just reading, reading the old Bull Terrier, man. This was okay. This is what they did. So, they hunted rats, they're bull baiting, whatever, all of this was kind of part of what the Bull and Terrier did. The prey drive, the desire to want to catch game, has to kind of be there. And so my desire to want to see a hunting Bull Terrier just kind of came from the fact that, I want to see my dog work. I want to see them challenged. I want to see them, basically show what the Bull and Terrier is supposed to do. Props to the guys who use working BTs for sports. Weight pulling, which I've done a little bit of that. Weight pulling. These are good things to do intermediately for like exercise. But specifically what I'm interested in is a dog that can hunt. A dog that can hunt. There's a lot of dogs that will see a pig and not be interested. You know what I mean? They just and I don't know, like if you have a bulldog, I can't call a dog a bull. I can't call a bulldog if if it won't catch a pig, man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just again, that's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bulldog, it should want to hunt.
Did you grow up hunting as a kid?
I did a little bit of hunting here and there with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my grandfather again, he was a he loved working dogs. He loved going out and out there in the mountains of Cuba. They would duck hunting and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I did some hunting with my dad. We go out down here in the Everglades and just shoot down pigeons and stuff, man. You know what I mean? And stuff.
Yeah.
No hog hunting
Mm-hmm.
or any of that. Just kind of small game hunting.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about what kind of diet you like to feed your dogs?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what I like to do is, and I'll be real with you, to save money, uh, and to both benefit the dog. So I like to feed raw Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I give some high quality kibble.
Okay.
And that's been working out perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I feed, Victor, dog food, which is pretty good quality food. And so I just kind of give that on the weekends to make up for anything that was maybe lacking,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the week. I don't do the whole. I did that at the beginning, man. The whole percentages with the organ and the blah and the blah. I just don't got time for that. So I buy chicken leg quarters. I
Mm-hmm.
go to the meat distributor. It's super cheap. You know what I mean? I get 40 pounds of chicken leg quarters for $14.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You can't beat that.
No.
A dog, a bag of Victor, 30 pounds is $50.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I have gone through a lot of those bags with these puppies
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
the last 3 months. So I'll feed the puppies. It's different, right? They're still growing, so I do give them kibble every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of split it. In the morning I'll do chicken, raw chicken, and in the evening I'll do kibble. So I guess that's like a 90%, at least for my grown dogs,
Mm-hmm.
like about a 90% raw diet. And she's great. She, you know what I mean? There's energy. There's no slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's straight up a chicken leg quarter, just every day, Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is your kind of morning and evening routine with your dogs? Do you have a specific time you like to exercise them, or is this whenever you have time?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, of course, in the morning, I'll go out there, go to the kennels, I'll feed the puppies.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tend to lock my female up. She's the only dog that I keep loose in the yard. But I like to lock her up in the morning because she won't let my wife sleep. Again, I live in a residential city type area. My neighbors are not too far from me.
Mm-hmm.
And they like to let their little toy dogs out at the wrong time, and it doesn't go too well with my female. So she's not dog aggressive. I mean, we hunt in packs all the time, but when you have a little annoying, Yorkie, it's a different story. So yeah, I'll lock her up during the day, and then when I come back from work around 4:30 or so, I'll let her back out, and that's kind of when I'll spend some time with them. Just kind of, working, doing a little bit of bite work, a little bit of, just, normal, playing with the dog, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy. And of course, she gets worked out with the puppies right now like crazy. They just chase each other around the yard, and, they gas each other out. So that's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just, again, thanks for the,
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It's different. Especially when we're talking about a working BT. So it's just exciting.
Yeah.
It's an exciting little world.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just that one breed that still needs to be resurrected. We've done it with the American Bulldog, right? We've done it with a lot of the Neo dogs. We've done it with these dogs, but the Bull Terrier still needs some work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an investment that people like me. Some guys here in the U.S. as well, shout out to them. They know who they are. And, and Florent, and I asked Florent last time, I was like, hey, is there anything you want me to say, directly from you in the interview. He's like, no, man, just let him know. Same thing, that he appreciates the fact that, you reached out to us. And
Yeah.
we're happy to have this interview. And we're open to collaborate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I reached out to some of these guys on the West Coast, and we're open to share blood, man. And this is a team effort. You know what I mean? Ain't no one man team.
Right.
And nobody has a special lineage of. I don't want to get into that. It's going to be a can of worms, but nobody has a special strain from 1920 that they're somehow breeding. Okay. Let's be realistic, A lot of guys, they want to keep a lot of secrets, but which is one of the reasons why I'm, there's some pages that don't like me too much, because I'm very blunt, I'm very open about things, It's like, it's like, all right, brother, like, listen, you don't have a strain from 1920. You had an outcross somewhere, and I think this is helpful. This is helpful because if anything, some people are just afraid of being kind of pointed out, oh, you don't have a Bull Terrier. That's a mix. That's a cross. And it's like, well, that's fine. Like, in my opinion, this is the real Bull Terrier. This is the real. If anything, this Bull Terrier resembles a lot more the Bull Terrier from 150 years ago than the standard AKC Bull Terrier today.
Can you kind of talk about that cross, what they're referring to?
Yeah. No, I mean, reality is, listen, you need Bulldog in your blood. You need Bulldog in your blood. Whether the outcross was done a generation, 2 generations, 3 generations ago, any little bit helps. Any little bit helps. If that's 5%, 6%, Bulldog blood goes a long way in adding that tenacity and adding that drive and adding that disposition to work and please, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, a lot of these guys have, they've blocked me from their pages because I've kind of been, like, come on, man, let us know what you got in that. Let's not be afraid to talk about this. This is only helpful, If anything, we're only doing what James Hinks did when he took that Dustman, one of the first, Bull and Terrier, which kind of looked like an overweight pit bull. What did he do? He crossed it with the white English Terrier, and long in the face to straight bow legs, and this is the ancestry. This is where we came from. You know what I mean? They ain't no, the AKC did not breed the Bull Terrier. You know what I mean? Man has always had the formula. That's what I like. Man has always had the formula. That's why God created us as the most intelligent beings on the face of the earth. It's not gorillas. It's men. And we've experimented and we've made this happen. We all customize things to our liking. And it's the same thing with a breed. You have to mix and match here and there to get what you want. Especially when we're talking about a breed that's been watered down. So the way that I see it is, and one of the things that makes it, I think, interesting and gives me a desire to do it is, it's almost like what James Hinks and some of these guys did going forward, we're doing going back. We're just reversing work to get closer to what the breed once was. And so yeah, I just think we need to, and one of the reasons I say this because, for a while I was ignorant myself, and it got hurt because it's like, dang. So there's only one place in South Wales that has this particular dog. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? This type, it ain't spread to any other place of the universe. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? So, and I used to be like, and people that used to reach out to me used to be, oh my gosh, I want that working type of Bull Terrier. Like, that's what I'm looking for, but I can't find it. Oh, you got to go to that one guy to get it. So it's like, listen, man, we're over here recreating the wheel as well. We're doing,
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the same thing, and it's just good again to bring this dog to cross it, overseas, and bring the same type to the U.S. And so yeah, we're making it happen, man, with the help of again of Florent, and those breeders that came before him. Listen, much credit to them. Some of those guys don't out there in the UK, but listen, much credit to those guys. I have the uttermost respect for them. But don't block somebody because they're basically speaking the truth. You know what I mean? But again, it's this whole thing of like, I don't want to share my stuff with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to. It's a lot of jealousy, a lot of hating, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, a lot of these guys don't want you to do the same thing they're doing, which is, it's honestly stupid, because if we're all doing it for the passion of the working BT, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just share the knowledge. Let's come together and let's expand the world of the working BT. What the heck? Are you a puppy peddler, or are you a guy that really is in it for the working BT? And so, that's one of the things that. And so when I started sharing some of my videos of my female that I got from Vanell, kind of working here in the U.S., oh man, you know what I'm saying? It really got some haters stirred up, But here we are, man. We're making it happen. And to those people out there, like, oh my God, the working BT, like, you guys are so special, Yeah, my great grandfather, had these BTs, and I'm breeding them today. No, there was an outcross done somewhere. Exactly when that was. People don't have to share, but at least be like, listen, man, there was an outcross out there. Look at the American Bulldog today. They're crap. They're garbage. What are the good working American Bulldogs out in the world today? They're cross. They're cross, brother. They've got pit bull blood in them. And listen, dude, that's magnificent. That's excellent. You know what I mean? And so it is what it is. There's percentages. There's some percentages in there that have to be brought back, because show breeders basically took completely away from the breed. So we're just taking back what was ours. You know what I'm saying? By doing some of these crosses.
No, and I'm a big, I don't get too much into it, was because a lot of people, like you said, are very protective of their breed and that mythology that comes with it.
Yeah.
Even some of your working type people that are or have got healthy dogs, they really don't want to. They don't want that whole thing to get out and be an issue. So I don't really talk about it much, but I am a big fan of crosses, and I'm a big fan of even like your band dogs and all that kind of stuff, because I think along with the looks comes functionality and health, and just a healthy style. And like you said, you're bringing back what was taken away, and obviously something was put in that was foreign to the original idea of the Bull Terrier, to make it look the way it looks now. And you're bringing back what obviously was there, especially with the original Hinks and all those breeders that brought had the idea to do what they did. And so yeah, I definitely am a huge fan of it, and I don't pay it attention, because you got 5 or 6, 10%. It doesn't make it a pit bull. It doesn't make it a bull. It makes it a Bull Terrier from the original standard. And then you're just breeding. You're just going down.
Absolutely. And what I tell people is this: listen, there's nothing new under the sun. You think you're doing something new, brother? No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that some of the? Because again, remember, I study this breed, and there's so many different types of Bull Terriers. Why is it that some of these Bull Terriers from Chuck 1918, 1930, they look like greyhounds?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were outcrossed
Yeah,
from greyhounds.
right.
Lurkers, whippets.
Yeah.
But again, what did James Hanks use? He used the White Terrier. He used Dalmatian.
Mm-hmm.
He used pointer type dogs. And so, of course, in the genetics, some are going to show a little more than others, especially when you're talking about an outcross that was done 5 years ago. So it's going to pop out somewhere. And it's just, man, just educate the people, let them know, what's going on. And if they want to tag along and make it happen as well, then hey, people are more than welcome, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, because it's important, because it's a great breed. It's a great breed. You might as well take a little bit to make your Bull Terrier better. What the hell's the problem with that? And I commend people that are doing it, and so I appreciate your honesty there.
Yeah, you can check out my Instagram as well if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't start it too long ago, but it's blown up because again, it's so different, right?
Right.
I only share Bull Terriers and Bull Terrier crosses.
Okay.
And so yeah, people love it, man. There's so many working BTs in Indonesia, for example.
Oh, really? Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. And I really appreciate those guys out there because they're very open about what they do in their crosses.
Yeah.
Very open. And so anyway, so it's Miranda _ Bulls at Miranda _ Bulls with a Z at the end.
Right.
So you could check that page out. We have some really interesting, I think, BTs that you would appreciate on there.
Okay.
Showing many different types. So yeah.
Awesome. I thank you very much, Jacob, and I look forward to seeing the future.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you for the.
Thank you. All right.